How do you measure success? Is it by hard work? Countless of hours spent? Is it by empowering others? I believe it's a combination of passion, confidence, and optimism. We all create our own standards. We persevere during setbacks and never give up on our dream. In this episode of Young Hustlers on the Rise, we sit down with Thomas Fields, the CEO and founder of Grind, a team of passionate individuals that are specialized in engineering and design. Grind is transforming the way athletes practice by creating the world's first portable, more affordable basketball shooting machine.
My name is Thomas Fields, founder and CEO of Grind Basketball. So I started Grind in 2014, right after I graduated high school. So, I tore my ACLs during high school and kind of had all these injuries and setbacks, and ultimately didn't have access to the best training equipment as a basketball player. So right after I graduated, I set out to create a shooting machine, designed specifically to solve the problems of passionate athletes. I started playing basketball when I was about 6, 7 years old. I think I just fell in love with the game. I don't remember how. I just started playing basketball, and it was just love at first sight from there. My mom was the one that took me to the YMCA to play basketball, and from there I just played in high school, played on the varsity team, traveled all over the nation playing basketball. So they fully supported me, right? And my decision to start Grind, they were, it was sort of my dad's help and guidance to make it more affordable for the parents. It was his insight saying, if you design a machine designed for players, the parents would support their kids, right, and invest in their kids' future. So he looked at it from a parent's point of view, which is the customer, and I looked at it from the basketball player's point of view. So, I grew up, my dad's a music producer. So I grew up, with, a bunch of rappers coming over to the house recording in the studio, right? And in Houston, there's this thing about, working hard. We kind of supplement this idea of working hard with the word grind, right? It's like a process. And I just grew up with that mindset to work very, very hard and constantly push past setbacks. So, my friends, they would come over to the house, and I ended up calling my house the Grind House. And that's what we originally started as our name. So Grind is a sports technology company that is focusing on creating products specifically designed to solve the problems of passionate athletes. And we're starting with basketball, right? Because it's my passion, and I know that sport better than anybody else. So we're designing a portable basketball shooting machine, rebounding machine, that allows athletes to shoot up to 1,200 shots an hour versus 100 shots an hour, right? First is the love of the game, right? I mean, doing something that I love, I don't feel like this is work at all. It's just all, it's just all from my heart, right? And I think Grind doesn't really exist to, develop just a shooting machine. I think we exist to change the way athletes look at the world, right? I think, Grind is here to, bridge the gap between, minorities thinking about technology, right? That we're here to represent that you can do whatever you want to do, right? You can build a shooting machine, you can, build apps, you can do whatever you want to do, right? And our partnership with TXRX, I think, has enabled us to, use their 3D printers and take it to basketball courts, right? And show kids what 3D printing is. So I think our mission stands for much more than just a basketball shooting machine. It's ultimately the future of the younger generation. Oh man. So I've been waking up, I've been waking up at about 5 a.m., 4:30 in the morning for the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years. So, that habit has definitely given me a head start in answering emails, getting all the work I need to get done, and getting ahead every day, right? 1% every day equals 365% in a year, right? Incrementally increasing and taking the steps forward with grind every day. That's all that matters to me. Wake up, read a lot, right? I read a ton. So I actually failed second grade reading, which is ironic. My mom laughs all the time, but now I have like 10 to 15 books right now, and I just love reading. And read as much as you possibly can, because greatness has already been done. You just gotta learn and understand it as much as possible. So 5 a.m. Another habit I think is staying persistent with the vision is very important. I think constantly reminding yourself why you're doing something, what's the purpose behind it, I think is very important. That's a good habit to have. Yeah, I think failure is great, right? I think failure teaches you, it matures you, right? I think about failure in a way where, fail fast, fail often, and succeed. I don't mean like fail long term. Fail very quick. If you could fail 3 times today, that means you're that much closer, tomorrow, right? So, but the mindset whenever you encounter failure, I think, is very important. I think you have to look at it from, again, your purpose, right? It's, there's no failure that's gonna stop me from pursuing grind, right? Whether we get funded or not, we're gonna still make it, right? It doesn't matter. So it's just a matter of staying resilient, which is one of our core values, is building survival into the company's DNA, and no matter what, you're not gonna fail. So, initially I started grind by myself, in the garage, welding with one of my friends, Xavier, right? He taught me how to weld. And, there's a prototype here that we first welded together. And, it's really first getting the vision across, because a lot of people, they look at you and they tell you, okay, you're gonna build a shooting machine, where is it? You haven't built it, you don't have any partners, right? So I felt like I had to just do it myself, right? So that's exactly what I did. As soon as I had some sort of, prototype there, I went and got two twins, and they were mechanical engineers, and they helped me, develop the system for the passing mechanism. From that, it was pretty much networking. We got into a technology accelerator, and they helped us network like crazy, right? So from there, that built our credibility. We were officed out of TMCX, which is the innovation hub downtown in the medical center. And I like to say Grind was born at the Texas Medical Center of Innovation because that's where I created the logo and everything. But from there, we got into TXRX and just building that network as I went along. People knew about us. People were coming to me, asking me, could they be a part of something like this? And that's really how it ultimately happened. I brought on Cameron and Elliot as summer interns. So they're doing an internship for product design, and we get help out of that, right? So that's pretty much how I've set it up. Yeah, great question. I think my definition of success is ultimately happiness, right? I think it's pursuing something that you absolutely love, and of course, I'm not gonna sit here and say money isn't everything, because I know exactly what it's like to grow up with no money, right? And I know what money can afford people, right? So I think money is definitely a part of success, but I definitely don't think it's the main priority, right? I think making sure that you're pursuing something that you love, as long as I kind of impact the world in a positive way, doing something that I love and making money on the back end, that's success to me. I would give the advice is to, it may sound a little cliche, but follow your passion, right? Follow your passion and work harder than anybody you can think of. At some point, right, you're gonna understand yourself a lot more. You're gonna find your own kind of schedule to work and things like that. But I would just say, be constantly paranoid as to how you're gonna make it. That's how I was. I was constantly trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it. Like, how am I gonna be successful, right? How am I gonna be happy? What is my passion gonna be? And it's just constant beating on that kind of idea led me to where I am now. I don't think there is any magic formula. It's just really, really rough and really tough and dirty, and that's the process. You gotta love the process. I would say, if I would leave somebody with advice, you have to love what you're doing and love the process, because I think that's what it's all about.